The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
You have smoked yourself retarded.
here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
All right. Black Friday. Chris.
I'm Aaron.
Is Black Friday this year?
What?
Hasn't it been like Black Month because they don't want people crowding together in the stores? That's
Well, they've been stretching it out for a while now.
yeah.
Everyone's got all kinds of like pre-Black Friday deals, but yeah, I imagine they still want to goose that day.
But the
I don't know.
same time, you don't want to be encouraging crowds. Not this year. Like, please do not line up and everybody crowd in.
I've heard more from the online, like Amazon and Best Buy online and shit. Like, have been pushing their Black Friday shit. But yeah, I think a lot of places are going to be closed. I mean, a lot of places are going to be, under lockdown.
Well, it seems here in Michigan we're like it's kind of half lockdown. It's not like it was back in April where they closed everything.
Right.
Things are still open. Retail's still open.
Right. Well, it's kind of the folly of using the term lockdown in the first place.
Yeah.
We've never been in a full-on like lockdown, like tanks rolling down the street with bullhorns, like "Do not leave your homes."
Yeah. Lockdown would be like, cop pulls you over and go, "What the fuck you doing out?" That would be lockdown.
Yeah. Nobody's asked us to duct tape our windows yet. You remember that one?
No.
It was a throwback. Maybe that was so when we were afraid post 9/11, when we thought there was going to be another domestic terrorist attack, they were telling us to duct tape your windows.
I don't remember that.
It'll protect you from a gas attack. If you seal off your windows. Anyway, it was dumb.
Isn't that what weather stripping's for?
Yeah. I got some drafty ass windows, man. There's a gas attack near my place. I'm going to be one of the first going down. I've got some tape up around the edges of the one up, the bigger window in my bedroom. Because it's like a breeze coming out of that thing.
They just lay there and feel it coming in.
Yeah. It's that, and then there's a spot all the way on one of the far side of my kitchen, closest to the outside. The whole thing was an add-on. Actually, if you go down into the basement and look, the basement doesn't go over to that side of the house because it was, that was an addition that wasn't, part of the original plan. There is a crawl space underneath it, and there's extension cords that go from the fuse box to power everything that's in the kitchen.
Yeah, sounds like everything's up to code over there.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the first things when I moved in here last year. One of the first things they did is have a guy come through because there was actually in one of the drawers in the kitchen, I opened it up and there was a notice from the city, an inspection notice about all the things that they had to address. And definitely not something that you want to leave for the tenants. I think it was left there mistakenly.
Yeah.
And so I went through the list and I was like, okay, faucet's loose. Go into the bathroom. Yep. Faucet is loose. Oh, there's just a room in the basement that's dirt and is not sealed off.
Oh, I wouldn't dig in that dirt if I were you.
Yeah. Oh, my cat's got in there and shit in there immediately. So I blocked it off. It's completely sealed off now, just like the
Found a human
secret,
hand yet in there?
just like the serial killer room that's in the little cubby that's in my bedroom.
Oh, secret drug room.
Yeah, the secret drug room. The little space carved out of the attic. So
Your house may have been on Dateline. I'm just saying.
yeah,
With the spot in the basement and the spot in the attic.
yeah. Just with those two locations, you could get a pretty decent horror flick.
Yeah.
You know, one of these found footage type of deals, Blair Witch style.
I would leave that dirt in your basement undisturbed. Let the next tenant find the dead body.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize it. It's tucked back into the base. So I didn't go in there the first time. It's just not lit and there's nothing in there. There's no, heater or anything like that. I thought it was just empty space.
You putting the lotion in the basket?
But I'm like, how does this happen? Like, what? You just forgot to finish the basement?
Oh, they didn't forget.
I don't know how deep. I don't think you could actually plant something there, but they may have. That's a good point. So it does have. I guess it would be possible. There's a bit of a lip on there, so it's not just like it goes from cement to dirt. There's a bit of a step up. So I didn't, poke around in it to see, but maybe there was a grow up.
Where do you think the last tenants went, man?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I'm putting all three things together now. So, secret room in my bedroom, so I haven't described this in a while, but my bedroom is a converted attic. And so it's just basically one long shotgun of a bedroom. And then, like any kind of converted attic room, you have that kind of negative space that you can't really do anything with, that you seal off. You don't go all the way to the edge usually. So there's like attic space on either side of my bedroom, and there's a panel cut out of one of the spaces, and a plywood door kind of screwed on, and it was loose when I moved in. I just pulled it off, and they went in there, removed all the insulation, put a couple boards down so they had benches, and threw some carpet down, and there were some Mountain Dew bottles and some cat turds, and a fan, which looks like it was installed as well for ventilation to go out. So that's the secret drug room. There's the dirt-filled space in the basement. And the third thing is the large dents that are in the back door. So...
Oh, well, yeah.
Let's say if you took an object, let's say it's a cylindrical object, maybe about 6 inches around, and let's say about 3 feet long, and it was a solid piece of metal, and you just rammed it into a door over and over again. I don't know why somebody would do this, but if you did that, you would get a pattern, right around the lock area. You'd get a pattern that would look kind of what is on my back door.
Huh.
What's astounding to me is not certainly that this house used to grow and consume drugs. I mean, no big deal there. But that all of these things were left for me, the next tenant, right? We're not going to replace the door. We're not going to fill up the dirt room. We're not even going to really cover up the room with cat shit in it. That was all rented to me as is.
Well, yeah, I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, that's how much in denial I can live. Like, it didn't occur to me until you said something
just
about
right now?
The dirt room that they were actually growing in this house.
If the cops showed up with a battering ram, probably grown a little too much.
Yeah. That being said, I think there's still some places of this house I may not have explored. I haven't seen what's in that crawl space underneath the kitchen addition.
Oh, boy.
I haven't looked thoroughly into the other attic spaces that are available. It's just rotting insulation in there and rat turds probably. But there could be, there could be a bounty stashed somewhere in this house. Also could be Tyrone showing up one day looking for it.
Yeah. Well, my guess though is if there was, you'd know about it already because you'd smell it.
Could be a different kind of green.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'm not thinking that I have a hidden room still in my house where it's just going to be magically like pot plants growing. Like there's a Narnia for stoners.
You're right.
In my closet.
Hey, you never know. Tommy Chong's there. He's chilling. Him and Snoop just hanging out.
Dude, that would be I wish I could make that movie actually. You basically you just do classic kind of stoner buddy, your Bill and Ted or your Harold and Kumar.
Yes.
Type of thing. And just give it a fantasy spin. So, yeah, they grow some shit in their closet, right? That's some super crazy seed they get from a Chinese dude.
He's out of Gremlins, so he sold him a seed. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I guess the script's done for Gremlins 3.
Right.
If you've been looking forward to that, I know everyone's been patiently waiting for that one.
Their heads kind of are shaped like pot leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, so you buy the special seed, and then they grow it in their closet, and it creates like this portal to this world where like everything's weed all the time.
Yeah.
And then it'll like turn into something where one of them gets too into it. Like he's spending all of his time in weed Narnia.
Like when Homer went to Candyland.
Right. So this will be
weed.
This will be the message of the movie with the capital M, is that, this will be an opportunity for them they're both stoners, but one of them is slipping into like doesn't get off the couch type of stoner. And so the other one has to step in and be like, hey, like we like hanging out and smoking, but like you're letting your whole life slip away here.
Amen.
But you can do that with the weed Narnia. He's lost in the weed Narnia and he has to go find him and pull him out.
Oh yeah, because weed Narnia will keep you forever.
Yeah. And he's in there.
It's like Back to the Future. You got to be out by a certain time where you're...
Right, yeah. Portal's closed and time's running out. He's going to spend forever in here. Meanwhile, loser buddy's in there getting blown by a weed nymph and going, yeah, that sounds good. I could do this forever.
Yeah, what do you want me to leave?
Yeah. Like, no, this is everything we've ever talked about, man. It's right here. It's right in front of you. And you're just going to throw it away?
I'm staying.
Honestly, if I found that portal in 2020.
Right. You're like, see ya.
Like, yeah, my kids would probably bring me back, but if it wasn't for them, I'd be like, yeah, bye. Bye, everyone.
I'm staying in weed Narnia. You let me know how this all turns out. Actually, don't let me know how this all turns out. I'll be in weed Narnia.
Right. Yeah, I'll be blowing blunts with Shrek. Have fun with whatever you're doing in the real world.
Yeah. Enjoy wearing a mask going everywhere. In weed Narnia, you can still go to concerts.
So, how did we get talking? I thought we were talking about Black Friday. Did we talk about Black Friday?
Yeah, this all started with Black Friday.
It's going to be a weird one. I don't think it's going to be. I think there's going to be just as much money spent as any other year. We know Amazon is pulling down record profits.
Oh,
it's insane how much money they're making.
Jeff Bezos now, his divorce is just a distant memory. He has made up his divorce settlement and then some. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Bezos is like, you can have half. I'm going to make that look like nothing.
Yeah, guess what? Me and Bill Gates and the rest of the Illuminati, there's something coming in 2020. I'll be good. Just wait till March.
Yeah.
You want half? That's good. I'll make that back by July.
Even Best Buy stock is way up. Best Buy is killing it in the pandemic.
Well, because it's got all the stuff to do all the mobile shit. It's got the laptops, it's got the microphones, it's got the lights. It's got the software. It's got everything you need to do everything remotely. Plus the video games. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think everybody was nervous about how the pandemic would affect their work directly. And I had those thoughts, but not to talk about what I do, but a lot of it involves personal audio. So I'm fine.
Oh, yeah.
Headphones and car speakers and Bluetooth speakers and all that shit. Like, that shit's going through the fucking roof.
Yep.
And I think that's what a big chunk of this Black Friday is going to be. You know, I think that's more what Black Friday has actually become. It's not, you know, this is your chance to get 5 Tickle Me Elmos for all your nieces and nephews. This is, I'm buying the big screen TV or something. It's become more big ticket items and laptops and iPods and, well, nobody buys an iPod anymore. I mean, iPad.
Yeah.
And all the stuff, all the personal electronic shit that people are getting for themselves in their home. It's not really about gifts anymore.
You think Apple knew it was cutting its own throat with the iPhone? It's like, we have to kill the iPod so that the iPhone may live. It's one of those kind of decisions.
Well, I don't think you get to the iPhone without the iPod.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
I agree with that.
So it was a definite evolution. And I really don't know that you have an Apple in 2020 without the iPod.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, people were still using Macs. I mean, certainly, you know, anyone doing audio, video, any kind of graphic media or something on a computer. You know, Macs had a pretty solid foothold there, but Mac stores, no fucking way. They would be a specialty vendor.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Do they even still make iPods?
Yeah.
Why?
You can't. They
Is it
still
just a
new
giant
the
external?
Nano, the little clip-on for runners, and there's the iPod Touches that basically just look like an iPhone, but they don't have cell reception.
Well, at this point, aren't they just externals you can interface with? And like an iPod. Isn't that just essentially what an iPod is now? An external hard drive that you can like hook up a pair of headphones to.
Yeah, right.
I guess that's all it was initially, but now, I mean, I remember even thinking like, man, if you could merge an iPod with a phone, that'd be fucking awesome.
Right.
They were probably working on it as I was having that thought.
And that being said, I've had a number of iPods, and actually, I don't know what happened to the last couple of. I had a couple old iPods sitting around, and I wanted to use them, and I couldn't find them, so I guess I lost them.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth, and as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth, and as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth, and as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net. The Weedsman Podcast.
I've been trying to find a solution where I can just have all my music in one place and listen to it wherever, which you think, oh, that's easy. There's so many ways to do that. But not so much. Now, if you're listening to, chart hits, if you're listening to stuff that, you can just walk in any record store and find, then yeah, you could get Spotify and has everything that you want on there. Anything outside of that, if you want a decent jazz collection, if you want a decent techno collection, if you want a decent indie rock collection, even these days, you're not going to find it all on one streaming service. So, and even so, like I have Apple Music. I've uploaded all my shit to their cloud. It does the whole match thing with your library, and so that way you can have all the stuff that you add to your library in Apple Music alongside of all the stuff that you upload that wasn't available on their service. But they've now split their searches. So when you search for something, you have to select at the top whether you want to search your library or you want to search Apple Music's library.
Yep. YouTube Music or / Google Music's been doing that for a while.
Yeah. And it's not so, like in the past with iTunes, I would be able to, if there was an artist that I uploaded, I could then click on their name and it would take me to everything that they also have on Apple Music. And I just go, oh yeah, add. Right? Now you have to go, it won't take you to, you have to go over to the library or the Apple Music side and search in there and find their stuff. And even then, why isn't there just one button where I'm like, okay, I want everything that you have by Frank Zappa, which I don't even know if he's on there actually, but I have that in my library anyway. But just as an example, there should just be a button at the top that I click on and add this artist to my library.
Because I think at this point they want to differentiate what you've paid for and what you haven't, what you have suckled from Mama Apple's teat versus what you brought to the party.
But it works. So that's the best solution. That actually Google Music used to be the best solution, and Google Music allowed me to merge the libraries together seamlessly in a way that I could easily browse.
Yes.
But then they got rid of Google Music. They got YouTube Music, and YouTube Music is the same thing, even worse than what iTunes is doing.
Yep.
It's like you got to go to a totally separate page for your personal library, and they are intentionally segregating the two, and it's ridiculous and useless. So I had to axe that. So I went back to Apple Music, but now, so I've got the library as organized as well as I can. Now I have to shoot it to something to listen to. When I was using Google Music, I was able to easily use Chromecast to shoot it to my Chromecast device that I have hooked up to my stereo in my room, which has a digital out, nice signal, and it's not Bluetooth streaming, so it's not compressed. And I can do the same with shoot it to my TV even with the video Chromecast device. Now with Apple Music on my iPhone, I don't have access to that anymore. Apple's no longer supporting Chromecast going forward. So now I have to figure something else out. So do I go Bluetooth and just deal with the compression? I'd rather, get an actual, analog to digital converter and just go straight into my stereo that way and deal with the inconvenience of having to get up to change the music. But I actually did find a solution that is not that expensive either. I ordered a rather old Airport Express because all of the Airport Express devices have a audio out on them. And I don't even know if they advertise this. I didn't know it until I looked further into it. That little 1/8" jack on the Airport Express is also a digital audio out. So you can plug what looks like just a regular headphone cable into there, run that into your stereo, or you can get what do you call it? A light pipe cable, like you use for ADAT for digital audio.
Oh.
And they make one. It's the same that they use for the Chromecast devices. Actually, I was able to just pop it out and stick it in the airport. It's shaped just like a little 1/8" jack, but it has a little light, shooting out the end of it that carries a signal. So that's been pretty solid, actually. I had to do a firmware update on it because it was dropping out every now and then. But now I'm able to actually just pull up anything on Apple Music, cast it to the Airport Express, which goes to the stereo.
There you go.
That works. So I'm going to get one for the downstairs as well. And because it does it through the Wi-Fi, it's not compressing it. So, Bluetooth has to not only just code the signal to shoot it out, but also has to compress that information. It has to reduce the amount of bits so that it can send it in real time and you can broadcast that music. So on top of the fact that I'm already listening to stuff that's mostly MP3, let's face it. Mm-hmm. I don't want the further reduction in dynamic range of compressing over Bluetooth as well, especially not when you get into stuff like I was saying, especially like the jazz stuff. You need that full dynamic range for those jazz recordings because they get really noisy. You reduce that dynamic range and all that hiss and background noises and people humming while they're playing in the piano and tapping their foot and all this shit. All that shit comes up too.
Gives personality, man.
Oh,
can't get rid of that stuff.
Those are all important elements, but they should be way in the background. Things that you notice on your 6th or 7th listen, you go, oh yeah, he's kind of humming along with this one, right? Mm-hmm. Or you can hear he kind of hits the rim a little bit with the stick when he's doing that brushwork on the, they shouldn't be all compressed like music is now and everything's right on the surface. So what else has been going on? Have you watched anything cool lately?
We started watching Fargo, the new season.
Oh, the new season?
Yeah.
It's so good. It's just about to, I think the next episode, it seems like it's going to be the last. I think it's episode 8 or 10. I can't remember how many they have in this one.
Whoa, yeah, no, we're still back at like 2.
Yeah, so you just started.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really good. I think you're really going to dig this one. Now, Noah Hawley's not everybody's cup of tea. When he nails it, it's a home run. But he's done a lot of weird shit too, even with Fargo. There are a lot of people that were turned off and confused about the Alien event that was I think in second season. If I remember correctly, the second season, there's a big showdown between two characters where you're like, one of these people are not walking away from it, and it ends up because Noah Hawley likes to use these kind of acts of God to give you an unlikely outcome, right? So he builds everything up with like this meeting between two people, and that it's going to go bad. When these two finally have their conflict, it's going to be a final conflict for somebody. But then, some chance occurrence happens that saves that person's life or something like that. So I don't want to get too into it because it would be spoilers for this season. But just know there's a little bit of that in here, but nothing that really affects the major story. I don't know why he does this stuff. I like it, but the more kind of weirder and supernatural elements that he likes to sprinkle into the Fargo stories, I feel like he would have a more popular show if he didn't do that. Because these shows are great. I mean, he gets great actors, great performances, great writers. Everything looks beautiful. And just the look of this show.
Well, yeah.
Set in the 50s.
I'm just surprised it doesn't get awards for just
for production.
Yeah, it's aesthetics.
Yes,
just the look of it all. Just it's well done.
Well, we'll see what happens next year. Maybe it'll get noticed. It seems like one of those shows where you're like, I can't believe this show's hanging on.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly seem to have that mainstream appeal.
Yeah, and it's an anthology type show that doesn't really have a through line for you. Now, if you're a Coen Brothers fan, there's definitely a through line in there. And I believe that this season probably has more references to Coen Brothers material than any of the others that I've seen, like direct references. Did you see the jailbreak scene with there's the black woman and the Indian woman that are a couple?
No.
Are you introduced to those two by episode 2?
No.
Okay. It's not a spoiler or anything, but they basically do the jailbreak from Raising Arizona.
Oh wow!
And there's a few lines from other stuff. I think there's another Raising Arizona reference.
So they're not so subtle nods to the Coen Brothers.
Yes, they're very open, blatant. They're not nods. They're like, "Hey, dude, 2 thumbs up." Look at.
Gotcha.
They're full on, like, "Hey, Fargo guys at the airport." They're not subtle nods at all.
Hey, remember when you did Fargo?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, remember when John Goodman was like muddy and shit and like yelling? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you want good period stuff, The Good Lord Bird was a dynamite show that just wrapped up its first season. I guess it's so hard to tell these days. It has a pretty definitive end because it's loosely based on the story of John Brown, who, incited a riot. What am I trying to say here? He wanted the black slaves to rise up.
So it looks like limited series.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was a limited series. Well, because John Brown dies at the end of it, right? No spoilers on this. This is history. John Brown tries to incite a riot. He tries to take over an armory and arm a bunch of black people to revolt. And he's eventually captured and hung for it. And that's the story. Now, I think you could... the show's not called John Brown. It's called The Good Lord Bird. And The Good Lord Bird really isn't in reference to anyone. And the main character isn't John Brown. It's Onion, a young black teenager who's mistaken early on for a girl and just goes with it because it's easier to kind of, stay out of people's eye line that way, I guess, just blend into the background. But Ethan Hawke plays John Brown, and he's never not chewing the scenery. He's full on. Everything that he's doing is with like extreme passion and fire behind his eyes.
Isn't that Ethan Hawke? Not just him.
Yeah, but this is the most Ethan Hawke role ever.
Oh, Reality Bites was pretty.
And
the most Ethan Hawke role ever.
But see, I bet like anything he says in there would be an example. Maybe you can find a little clip of or something.
Let's see. Watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Everybody got God on their side in the war. Trouble is, God ain't telling nobody who he's for.
Yeah, so that's Onion. That's who tells this story. That's the narration. Yeah.
And I am here in the name of the great King of Kings.
Even when he's not yelling, though, he still has that same tone. He'll talk in a hushed tone like this, and you just feel like he's gonna explode at any second. This music is highly inappropriate for the show. It actually sounds like the music from Election when Tracy Flick gets angry.
Yeah.
For a shameless hypocrisy, America reigns without a rival.
Hey, it's the Hamilton guy.
Amen.
Who's the Hamilton guy?
The guy who plays Frederick Douglass, isn't it? Why he's famous? He was
one of the
original
that's where I know him from.
Hamilton cast members.
Yeah.
Onion, you've been reading the Bible?
Not too much, Captain, but I've been thinking it's golly way.
We can work with that. You stand for the Lord will stand for you.
Killer Mike shows up in the last episode too.
Ooh.
I don't know why they went with that music, but yeah, okay.
Because they want 25-year-olds to watch it.
That sounds like the music that should accompany a Wonder Woman trailer or something.
Yeah, I hear music lately and things, and I'm like, yeah, I'm old. Just how it's produced, what they use now. Like, yeah, it's like, all right, old man, it's official. You officially don't understand things now. Because I'm with you on that music. Like, it sounds pretty abrasive. I mean, I get it was watching the previews, pretty abrasive show, but
yeah, but it should have like, I don't know, it should be horns and like drums that are worn, like marching drums, shit like that.
Do we use orchestras anymore, or is it all synthesizers now?
Yeah, maybe a little banjo.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing a period piece, maybe try to make everything from the period.
Well, I can tell you there's none of that, what do you call it? There's a term for it that I'm forgetting, but none of the music from a different time period, out of place music that occurs in the actual show.
So just in the trailer?
That's yeah, the trailer was not, at least from what I got from the audio, is not represented. I mean, the show, if it showed a lot of things blowing up and people dying, there was plenty of that in the show.
Yes. It did. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of Ethan Hawke holding two guns.
Yeah. But what I didn't hear, though, was much humor in there. And it's actually a really funny show, too. Really? It's a lot of gallows humor, but yeah, absolutely. Because Ethan Hawke's character is absolutely ridiculous, but he never breaks. He is a man of such conviction that people just can't help but follow him. Even though, I mean, it's not just that he says ridiculous things, he has ridiculous plans.
He's charismatic.
He is.
He can say crazy shit and get people to follow him anyway. Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, we just have to be able to harness crazy for good.
Right.
That's the thing, you know.
Is that possible?
Let's not get into politics again, but I'll just say this one thing. If Trump was a liberal, liberals wouldn't have a problem with his tactics.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's how everybody is, right?
Yeah.
If the Maverick's on your side, you don't give a fuck.
Yep.
What I have... Damn it. Have you ever seen Quieter Trump in the last month?
Oh, I know.
It's great. He's just hiding, not saying shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's still doing shit.
Yeah, but he's definitely...
He had fucking Mnuchin send $450 billion that were left from the CARE fund back to the Treasury so that Biden couldn't access it. And first of all, like, I was mad because you have $450 billion left in that fund. Like, what the fuck are you doing with that money?
And there's people waiting for stimulus.
Yeah. You should be paying people's rent with that shit.
Yeah.
And not mine. I don't want that money. I'm doing okay right now. I want you to hold the rest of this country together so that people will keep buying stuff that they don't need, because that's what makes me money. Making shit, helping to make shit that people will buy even though they don't need it. I need people with expendable income, you assholes.
Well, no, just too, because we got people losing jobs again a few weeks before Christmas, and no one's handing out cash.
Restaurants closing down.
Yeah.
Fucking grocery stores closing down. I can't remember what state I was reading. It was like Nebraska or something like that. But it basically said if you've had X amount of positive tests in the last X amount of days, you have to stay closed for X amount of days. Because, the headline was, grocery stores closed across the state. And I'm like, what? How is anyone going to get food? Turns out not all of them, but still, you close a few grocery stores down. Like, not everybody lives in an area where they have 5 or 6 grocery stores within 3 miles of their house.
That is correct. For some people, all they got is the local grocery store. I used to go to a lot of those towns where all you got is the Walmart. And if it's in your town, good for you. If not, you're driving a couple towns over.
Yeah, I can tell you what's not going to be shutting down any time is a liquor store in downtown Detroit, because they're also fucking selling bread, milk, and eggs.
Yeah.
To these people. They're buying a decent amount of their groceries from these places as well.
Well, it's city living, though, too. I mean, even in New York City, you're going you live in one of the boroughs, you're going to the bodega rather than the closest Walmart's a fucking hour drive away. And in New York, that's only 5 miles. And I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
So it's city living. But
and then they're like, I'm shopping local. I'm like, if you had a Walmart within walking distance, you'd fucking go to it. Shut up.
Yeah.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
New Extra Charge Hot and Iced Coffee from Dunkin' is made with 20% extra caffeine from green coffee extract, because we could all use a little extra this year. Whether that's an extra boost, some extra boldness, or the drive to go the extra mile, we're extra ready for whatever comes our way and extra excited to take it on. Let's get it done with a medium extra charge coffee from Dunkin' for $2 with 20% more caffeine. And pair it with snackable stuffed bagel minis for an added all-day boost. Order ahead on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
So I don't know. There's not really any weed news this week, Well, I guess there was one thing. There was there in South Dakota, one of the less likely states to pass marijuana legalization, but they did. The voters decided in South Dakota that they want it to be legal, and the cops are saying no, they don't want it. I don't know how you can just go override the voters on this.
Aren't they trying to file a lawsuit? Isn't that what they're trying to do?
Yes. Pennington County Sheriff Kevin Tom and State Highway Patrol Super Nintendo Colonel Rick Miller sued on Friday. Lawsuit seeks, I'm reading this from the Marijuana Moment. Lawsuit seeks to declare all ballots cast for or against Amendment A null and void and invalidate the changes it makes to the state constitution. This fucking makes me so mad.
Yeah, but isn't it a stretch? I remember reading it going, man, have fun with this. This is a huge stretch.
Sure, it is a stretch. And just not to go totally political again, but this reminds me of something that I just experienced yesterday, actually, as we're recording this. I watched in real time, this was as exciting as it sounded, the meeting of the Michigan State Board of Canvassers. They were to certify the election. So all the counties had their election results certified. They send those to the State Board of Canvassers. They certify that they received all these certified votes from the counties, right? Purely ministerial position. If you get the right stuff, then you stamp it and you say, yes, we received all the certified votes. This is, we are now assigning all of our electoral votes to this candidate. But we know that Trump's been trying to fuck with these guys, and some of them, these electorates have gone personally to visit Trump in the White House and stayed in Trump hotels. And so anyway, like I said, I didn't want to get too political on this, but they had one of the electorates was indicating that he was not going to vote to approve the certification. So I watched in real time as this guy tried to nullify my vote. I live in Wayne County. He's talking specifically about my vote, saying that there are problems in Wayne County. I live in a county that's predominantly black, and that's why people are centering in on it. And this is the same shit. This is the same exact shit of a person in authority trying to nullify somebody's vote. I'm not a voter in South Dakota, but this could easily just as well been my vote for cannabis in Michigan. Now, yes, it's not. Nothing's going to happen with this.
Although I do know the governor, though, is on their side. The governor was not happy that this, Amendment A passed.
That's true. That is true. If we're like traditionally, I don't think there's anything that the governor can really do. He can't intervene in this, but will he intervene extra legally? Who knows? I'm sure he could have some significant influence. So that is a factor that I didn't consider immediately. Oh, yes.
Kristi Noem.
Yeah. Yeah, won 54% of the vote. 54% of the vote.
Hey.
And if that were a candidate, we would call it a landslide.
Yeah.
So, let's see. The complaint says a major purpose of the one subject rule is to avoid requiring voters to accept part of a proposed amendment that they opposed in order to obtain a change in the Constitution that they support, resulting in votes that do not accurately reflect the electorate's approval of the proposed amendment.
Yeah, that's right. They tried to attack the language of how the proposal was worded on the ballot. And I remember reading it going, man, you are grasping at straws.
Well, you're also saying that voters are stupid.
Yeah.
That they didn't understand what they were voting for.
I got in there and there were all these words and I was just confused. It's crazy.
Which is the core of the Trump thing, right? Trump, his supporters, they don't believe that he legally won an election or that he has any chance of legally winning. They do believe that those who voted against Trump don't really understand what they're voting for and that it's in their best interest to be governed by conservatives. That's what's at the core of this. Not any actual belief in anything wrong. And that's what's at the core of what they're doing in South Dakota. They're looking for anything. These guys weren't sitting around going, I was okay with this. I figured, hey, the voters voted it in. But then I actually read the language on it. I think these people are being duped.
Yeah.
No, they said, hey, high-priced lawyer, here's a bunch of money. Find a weakness in this that we can go after. Because ultimately, they think that the people don't know what they're voting for. They think they're voting for a statewide party. And meanwhile, this whole state's going to be taken over by Mexican gangsters.
Yeah, because that's what's happened.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in Colorado. That's what's going on in Washington, Oregon,
fucking lowrider blasting out of every car in Colorado. There's you can't turn around without seeing a teardrop tattoo.
And that's what's happened here in Michigan, right?
Yep.
And all I do is I go outside and there's lowriders everywhere.
Trunks full of people and weed.
All I'm hearing is war, just blasting from car speakers. Babies walking around.
So Miller, this is the guy, the highway patrol guy, says our constitutional amendment procedure is very straightforward. In this case, the group bringing Amendment A unconstitutionally abused the initiative process. Does that mean the abuse? So that's just a fancy way of saying that they made the language confusing in order to dupe people into voting. I mean, are they really saying that they think that people thought that they were voting against cannabis when they were really voting for it?
I think that's what he's trying to get at.
Yeah. Not that they just don't understand what legalization of marijuana would mean, but that it was too confusing. I mean, I'm not a South Dakotan voter. I didn't read the actual language on the ballot. But these are usually pretty straightforward things. When you're voting on a ballot amendment like this, it's not getting into. They haven't even figured out. Like we said before, the way that they do this, generally, the way that they have done this, we'll see what happens in Vermont. But traditionally, the voters vote on: do you want marijuana legalization? Yes or no? Yeah. And if it comes back yes, then the lawmakers get together and they figure out, okay, how?
Yeah, they're doing that in Jersey now.
So all that to say, like, the language is pretty cut and dry on a ballot amendment. It's usually something like, do you think it should be legal to grow and sell marijuana for personal use to adults in the state?
I mean, it's a red state, right? You expect this kind of fight. You expect it to go down. The opponents to just keep their claws into the bitter end.
Well, I mean, we've seen it everywhere. Even in liberal areas, there'll be people who are like, "Well, not in my backyard. Hey, I didn't say I wanted one right around the corner." So people still get uptight about it all over the place, but this is like, it's expected, especially in South Dakota, but an insult is an insult. And trying to nullify somebody's vote or saying that they were too stupid to properly vote on something is a direct insult. And if these are elected positions, I hope they get voted out.
Yeah,
usually the sheriff would be.
It's thinking your electorate's pretty stupid. They couldn't figure out. They thought they were voting for something else. This reeks of go back to bed, America. Your government is in control. It reeks of that attitude. No, don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, you were just too dumb. You were confused. You got in that voting booth. You didn't know what was going on. You saw those words.
You're either confused by the words or you were confused by the liberal media that made you believe that marijuana is harmless.
Yeah, like if you're still in that camp, we hate to inform you, it's over. It's over. This last election, it was mostly red states that legalized. It was one blue state. The rest were all traditionally red states. Arizona, Montana, South Dakota. Come on now. Not exactly democratic strongholds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't even hold the belief that there'll be holdout states anymore. I think that you're either going to have to legalize it or it's going to be a problem for you.
Yeah.
You're going to, at a certain point, somebody's going to show you a balance sheet that goes, here's all our efforts to stop trafficking of drugs in this state, and here's how much money we could make on taxing it.
Yeah. The worm has turned.
Yeah.
Now, I think we're about to have a blue president. I think the next 4 years are going to, we've even admitted on this podcast, both of us, we've gone way quicker than we both thought we were going to go. So, now with a blue president, and look how far we'd advanced under Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Although, we'll see.
Michigan legalized under Trump.
I'm sure, definitely, we're going to continue to see progress on it. Whether that means federal progress under a blue president remains to be seen.
That's what we need. Get that shit off Schedule 1.
Well,
that changes the game.
Yeah. You better hope that that Democrats win both those Senate seats in Georgia, which I'm here to tell you is not going to.
Yeah, so you know the history on that, right? The last one in 2008, the Democrats got buried. Right.
Which, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, hey, occasionally Americans do astounding things, right? We were able to reach the moon in record time. We could, no, it's not happening.
No, because you know what? Because it's not the big sexy election, right? This isn't the one that you're not getting the 25-year-olds to come out.
Well, also they've proven that isn't. So we've seen a flip-flop, this constant flip-flop at the top of Democrat and Republican in the White House, right? But what we've seen from lawmakers in Congress and the Senate is the slow creep of the conservatives.
Yeah, your boy Nate Silver. I read an article the other last week said the House is on track to flip in 2022.
Yep, and that's because there's a lot of people in this country that believe that we should have a liberal represent this country in the White House, but we should have conservatives actually putting together the laws.
Maybe.
Which, well, yeah. If you weren't talking about
what kind of conservatives,
right? Like, I think that worked out well under Bill Clinton, right?
Like,
when they weren't impeaching him,
conservatives, yes,
yeah, that actually worked out pretty well, I think. But if you're talking about Mitch McConnell, I'm going to stonewall everything a Democrat tries to do out of spite, then no. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's just going to be played. The game of politics at the top has become basically, I'm never going to like. So politicians have faced the fact that they're pieces of shit, right?
Yeah.
And no one's going to, and like lawyers, you might as well just lean into it, right? Tell the politician jokes. What do you call 100 politicians at the bottom of the sea? Good start. Right? Just fucking lean into it. Everyone thinks politicians are greasy. Now it's just a question of degrees. I'm greasy enough to get what you want done, but not so greasy that I'm totally morally corrupt, right? That's the game that you want to play now. So now, like, what Mitch McConnell is playing is just how bad can I make Democrats look so that me and my Republicans look good in comparison. And that's what the stonewalling's all about. That's why they don't get their judges. They don't get cabinet positions. You know, it's going to be, he's going to double down on this shit. The same shit that he did to Obama.
Yeah, I'm just more concerned with the people who let the Bible inform their policy making. Like if the number one consultant on your policy making is Jesus Christ, no thank you. Well, it's not even like if you're a true believer in Congress, I don't really care. What I'm more concerned about is where, like, it's not whether, you know, Mitch McConnell or anybody else, whether I think they believe in God. It's that how much they believe that people who believe in God are a voting base and how those people can be manipulated. So it's the religious leaders that are telling them directly, hey, you want to vote in this election. You want to vote for this person. Anyway, this is a different podcast, isn't it? Right, yeah. So weed. Congress, what we're saying is, come on now. Let's deschedule it. Reschedule it. Whatever. Re-D. Just get it off of Schedule 1. That will be the game changer.
This is, yes. On your to-do list, this is one of those. I know it's not tops of the list, but it doesn't mean you always take everything in order. If you want to organize your day, you make a list of all the things that you can do, and you go, okay, these 3 things only take me 5 minutes tops. Let's sit down and do them right now. Now I've just chopped my list in half, right? That makes everything else more manageable. You want to focus on healthcare. You want to talk about stimulus or what we're going to do about coronavirus or any of this shit. Just scratch this one off the list, right? When you get up in the morning, just hey, let's just all right, legalize it, cross it off like it's the name of a person who has spited you in high school, and move on with your day.
You would think, but politicians. So insert politician joke here.
Yeah, there you go. A good start.
Yeah. All right. So that it.
That's it.
Put a bow on this one. Happy Black Friday. Hope you're eating turkey. The trope's made every year. Have you ever actually had a turkey sandwich the day after Thanksgiving?
What? Yeah, fuck yeah. That's better than turkey on the day.
See, now, I've never made a sandwich out of it.
Dude.
I'll just straight up eat the shit again.
You chop that shit about a quarter-inch thick. You take 2 big old pieces of like rye or some sort of hearty bread. You slather both sides with mayo. That's it. It's heaven.
See, I'm more of with turkey. This may start a war. I'm more of a mustard guy with turkey. when it comes to sandwiches. Maybe it's just because what my mom made when I was a kid. I don't know, but like, I'm not against turkey and mayo. You know, I've had a club sandwich. You know, I know it's
really
good.
The mayo's there to offset the dryness of the cold turkey. So, yeah, if you do have some nice brown mustard, you know, some shit that looks like it's got sand in it or something like that, definitely put that on the other side.
Yeah, I've never actually made. Like I said, I just eat Thanksgiving again the day after. I've never actually made a turkey sandwich.
No, that's all I'm thinking about. When I see that turkey on Thanksgiving, I'm thinking you're going to make a badass sandwich tomorrow.
And I can see, I mean, I've had sandwiches with that type of turkey, you know.
No, I'm telling you, I'm not big on the whole Thanksgiving meal.
What? Come on, like, you're a stoner.
A little bit of turkey, but I'm not gonna like eat a ton of it. Stuffing's good. Cranberries are stupid.
Yeah, I've never understood the whole. I like cranberry juice.
Everyone
I like vodka and cranberry. I've never understood the whole cranberry thing.
Everyone likes potatoes, but everyone's got their own special way of fucking them up for Thanksgiving that usually doesn't result in anything palatable.
Mashed potatoes, people, not hard. Potatoes, milk, butter.
Put fucking
done.
Marshmallows on shit. Getting weird ass a simple. So if it's mashed potatoes, a healthy amount of gravy, some turkey, some stuffing, and a nice fruit pie of some sort, an apple, a cherry, something like that. That's it. That's all I need. That's a decent meal.
Basic Thanksgiving meal. No, I'm with you. And I love the fact that gravy is celebrated on Thanksgiving. I think gravy is underappreciated in our culture.
Yeah, it's a holiday treat for me. I don't, at no point when I'm making a meal for myself or even ordering a meal at any time, not during a holiday, do I go, I think I need gravy on this.
Oh my God, that's me with most meals. You don't make this better, gravy.
That means that a nice wet burrito, like that's basically just a gravy drenched burrito.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
It's usually what's like red sauce. What the burrito's drenched in. But anyway, yeah, Thanksgiving.
Sauces. Wait, were we trying to end the show?
Yeah. No, I think it was somehow I was doing a segue that was talking about eating your leftovers, and we got into turkey sandwiches. Yes. Yeah, hope you're enjoying your
leftovers. No, no, go on.
Hope you're enjoying your weekend. You're shopping, however you did it this year. If you broke the rules, shame on you. What's rules? Michigan, 10 people, no more than 2 households. But yeah, I'm sure everyone's got their rules this year. Hopefully you didn't
and stay low. I think one of them was to stay. You gotta like crouch. If you're gonna get the whole family together, you've got to like crouch.
Yeah.
So that because the virus stays up high.
Hang out with the dog under the table.
You want to go under the virus.
Yeah, everyone just crawl on your belly. But follow us on Twitter at the Weedsman420. Like us on Facebook. We are on Instagram at the Weedsman Podcast. Email the Weedsman Podcast at ChristopherMedia.net. Check out the Amazon banner there while you're ordering your Christmas stuff. You can help us out and not add anything to your purchase. You can also click on the PayPal banner if you just want to just straight up give us cash. Just dropping all pretense. Just make sure you check us out wherever you listen to your podcast. If you listen on Spotify, if you listen on Apple, Google, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to the podcast, that's where we're at. Thank you for listening, and stay high.
Stay high. Oh, and when you're going to your car, run serpentine.
Oh, yeah.
You want to dodge the virus.
Yes.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Discovery Plus is the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Woohoo! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.